Salvete, salvete. Buonasera, buonasera. This evening I'm going to be repeating some Latin words to you, some Latin vocabulary that I have learned thus far in the Wheelock Latin textbook. So, I will be using my notebook that I use to write down my notes and my exercises, and where I also add the vocabulary that I have learned in each chapter. So, let's start with chapter 1. Okay. The first word I'm going to read. Saipe, 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 saipe. That is an adverb that means often, often, often. The next word, debere, 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 is also the etymological root of the Italian word dovere, dovere, which in English translates to to owe, ought to, or must, or should. The next word, valere, 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 which means to be strong or powerful or worthy. Notions that were all very much tied together in Roman culture. The word hasn't changed very much in Italian, where the classic Latin, V, which is pronounced W, has turned into the modern ecclesiastic V, valere, valere, in Italian. Another word with that classical Latin V, vocare, 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 which in Italian is actually something completely, it would be chiamare, but it is very similar to, and probably the etymological root of the word, vocalizzare. Vocare means to call or to summon. Okay. Here's another one from chapter 1. An adverb, gaudium, gaudium, which means fun or joy, joyous, which is the same still in Italian, gaudium. Well, that is a term, it's useless now, but or gioia. Let's see. This is the vocabulary, the vocabula, from chapter 2. Inter alia, inter alia, inter alia, among other things, or in Italian, tra altro. Let's see. The next word is sententia, sententia. That is a noun that is feminine, sententia. Here's another word, a word that is tied to the sententia that my neighbors are eliciting in me. Ira, ira, ira. That means anger. Anger. Ire is also a term in English that has this etymology, and ira still exists in Italian. Okay, let's see. Here's a good one. It's a verb. Iubere, 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 iubere. It means to order. To order. In Italian it would be ordinare. Ordinare. Let's go to the next chapter. Ager. 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 It's a word that means either field or farm. It's the etymology from which the word agriculture comes from, or agricoltura. And a farmer was called agricola, agricola, agricola. Here's an important word in Latin. Vir, or the plural, viri, 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 which means man, man or hero. It's with that classical Latin V, so it is also the root of terms such as virile in English, or virile in Italian. Let's see. Here's another word. Habere, 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 which means to have, to have. Similar to the Italian word avere, avere. I have, io habeo, habeo, habeo. Let's see. Libellus, libellus, libellus means little book, little book, little book. Or libretto, libretto, libretto in Italian. I think I have one more chapter I've done so far of vocabulary. Okay. Basium, basium, basium means kiss, kiss, kiss. Very similar to the Italian word bacio, bacio, bacio. In Latin, there were actually 3 words for kiss. One which was affectionate, between like, it could be any, between relative mother and child. One which was erotic, and one which was formal, like a kiss that was done in formal situations. I only remember 2 of them. I think the other one I know is like the erotic see. Here's a word. Bellum. 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 Which means war. That is the root word from which the etymology of English words such as bellic come from. Not to be confused with the word bellus, 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 or bella, 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 which still exists or the second still exists in Italian. Bellus and bella, handsome and beautiful, bello and bella in Italian. Juvare, juvare, oh, I'm sorry, juvare, juvare, juvare. I'd forgotten that classical Latin V. Juvare, juvare, which means to aid or help, and in Italian it would be aiutare, aiutare. Let's see. Beatus, 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 which means, technically it means beatified or blessed, but it meant happy or fortunate. So the whole concept of saying too blessed to be stressed, definitely something the Romans already had. Beatus, beatus. And it's still used in Italian. If you say beata tu, it's kind of like good for you. Okay, here's an interesting word. I'm not quite sure if this is, it's not really the same thing as what we would call this, as what we now call this thing, because it's changed so much, I would assume. But crustulum, 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 which means cookies. Let's see if there are any other. Wow, everything's happening tonight. People are walking around, people are yelling. A bunch of trucks are going by and honking. Okay, yeah, we got some more vocabulary. Alright. Atuluskentia, atuluskentia, atuluskentia. It means youth or youthful. It's where the word adolescent comes from. Atuluskentia, and in Italian would be adolescente or adolescenza. Caelum, 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 which is the word for sky or heaven. It is also the etymological root for the word, for example, in English, ceiling comes from caelum, which in Italian is cielo. Pulcher, 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 or pulcra, 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 which means beautiful, pretty, or handsome. Let's see. I could read to you some sentences that I had to write in Latin. I had to translate them. So these are in English, but I had to translate them from Latin. And this portion of the exercises are called Sententiae Antiquae, which means ancient sentences. They're all from ancient texts. It is the translation for infinite is the number of stupid people. Infinite is the number of stupid people. And there are sentences which I had to translate also the other way around, which are just exercises. I can read a couple of those to you. Filiae et filii magnorum vivrorum et feminae rorum saepe magni non sunt. That means the sons and daughters of great men and women often themselves are not. So, the sons and daughters of great men and women often are not themselves great men and women. Well, guys, I think that will be all for this evening. Like, subscribe, and leave comments. Let me know if you enjoyed me reading words in Latin, if you would like to see more of my studies, or for me to read more words in Latin, repeat words in Italian. And I hope you have a relaxing rest of your evening. As always,